Aloha and welcome back. This is our first show of 2021. And over the holidays, we lost another cast member of the Gilligan's Island sitcom from the 60s. Dawn Wells played Mary Ann Summers, a farm girl from Kansas. MeTV has been running marathons on Sunday, and it's a great way to fill the weekend since there's not a lot to do and we're still in a pandemic. Now, Gilligan's Island was one of those mid-century television sitcoms that started off in black and white and later became available in color as the technology improved. You're going to be finding cocktails and mocktails on this episode, so let's just start with the mocktails first. On page 127 of my book, Tiki Triangle, you're going to find several mocktails, in addition to cocktails and appetizers. And the one I really like, it's so simple. It's called a Mandarin Mimosa, and it's just simply 4 ounces of ginger ale and 2 ounces of fresh orange juice. It may sound like an odd combination, but once you taste it, you feel like you're just relaxing, having a mimosa on a Sunday afternoon, and it's zero guilt. The next mocktail is called Ginger's Island. Again, it's non-alcoholic. Now, if you like the taste of that, there's 2 things you could do to make it an alcoholic cocktail, and that's just simply add 3 ounces of champagne or replace the ginger syrup with a ginger liqueur. Now, a popular topic amongst guys is, who would you rather be with, Mary Ann or Ginger? Ginger plays a Hollywood star, always taking care of herself, always looking in the mirror, very self-absorbed. And Mary Ann is the more approachable, simple farm girl. Just as sexy, just as beautiful. Now, if there were any one episode to prove which one is hotter or more desirable than another, it's when Ginger is performing and Mary Ann gets jealous and envies her as she's watching her. She accidentally falls, bumps her head, and when she regains consciousness, she thinks that she's Ginger. Now, in this episode, Dawn Wells just nails it as Ginger. She does a really great job of being very sultry, very sexy. As a matter of fact, if she had auditioned for that role first, she probably would have gotten it. I think that Ginger just is a little bit too over the top. She's just trying too much to be like Marilyn Monroe. That's not to take away from the actress that she is. I just think that Dawn Wells just knocks it out of the ballpark. This drink is a variation of one of my favorite bourbon drinks called the Gold Rush. Why bourbon? Well, when you think of Kansas, I think of cornfields, and of course we get bourbon from corn. And I'm thinking that's probably what Mary Ann loved to drink when you're a castaway or in lockdown during a pandemic. Now, there was one other woman on the island, Lovey Howell, but she was married to millionaire Thurston Howell III. So she had champagne and caviar tastes. Thurston, on the other hand, would basically drink whatever's in front of him. You often see him with a tiki mug and garnish, but he did prefer martinis, 15-1. That's 15 parts gin to just a spray of dry vermouth. Now, the other member stranded on the island was the professor, who was usually busy tinkering and trying to find a way off the island using whatever technology he could salvage from the boat. And the skipper was probably drinking coconut water since there was so much of it, and he always wanted to be sober in case a rescue team did come by to get them off the island. That really just leaves us with Gilligan. Now, Gilligan was the one that was always messing up the plans to be rescued. He was the clown. As skinny as he was always talking about or dreaming about food. And since he was second in command, the girls knew that he could be easily bribed with something as simple as a coconut cream pie. If they wanted a special favor, or they wanted to get something out of the captain, they knew how to go through Gilligan. And there is my analysis of what they were drinking on Gilligan's Island. Now, if you're not really into Tiki, I'll be the first to admit that this show did have a pretty ridiculous premise. But the fact is the last time I saw the show is when I was a kid. And way back then, we didn't really have a choice as to what to watch. We only had a handful of channels, and a couple of them didn't even come in that well. It wasn't like today where we have hundreds of channels with thousands of different programs and movies on demand whenever you want to watch it. So we were forced to watch whatever was on, and it was usually news, sports, or something like Gilligan's Island. We didn't like that. We either had to go outside and get some fresh air, or go read a book. So it's winter time, and we're in the midst of another lockdown due to the pandemic. There's not a lot to do, so I'm going to kick back, have a cocktail, and see if I could remember any of these episodes from when I was a little kid. And trust me, we're going back almost half a century now, so it'll be interesting to see this from a different perspective and what mid-century life was like and what we found to actually be entertaining sometime in the late 1960s. Till next time, mahalo. Cheers.